Hello there, my name's Scott. Today I'm going to be doing a review on 3 e-liquid flavours which I received from www.vapourgeneration.co.uk. Before I start though, I must point out I did receive them free of charge for the purpose of conducting a review, and my opinion of products remain true, honest and accurate as always. Okay, so the 3 flavours I'm going to review are the natural Cuban cigar, the Cuban Twist and the Temptation and Hedges. These are all 18mg strength, a mixture of PG and VG, though I'm not too sure what the ratios are. UK manufactured, and I noticed on the ingredients, one of the ingredients is certified pure tobacco leaf, so I'm imagining that they are doing some sort of steeping process with actual sort of tobacco leaves to get some sort of flavouring out of it. I'm going to be using my Z Max, which is currently set at 6 watts with a 2.2 ohm bow cartomiser, and I've got a fresh cartomiser for each flavour. And I'm going to start off with the natural Cuban cigar. Vapour-wise, you're getting plenty of vapour out of it, but just bear in mind that the amount of vapour you're going to get will be more dependent on your own sort of setup with regards to what device you're using, what sort of atomizer or cartomizer, what voltage, etc, etc. But with the setup I've got here, getting plenty of vapour. Flavour-wise, out of the ones they sent me, this is by far my favourite, and it is a really, really nice flavour. Now, I think most people know that I only really vape tobacco flavours, and I do tend to prefer the Chinese tobacco flavours, if I'm honest. And but they are, you can tell that the Chinese sort of e-liquids, they're not really authentic sort of tobaccos. They're sort of quite sweet as well. But like I said, personally I do like them. Whereas this is a very, very natural sort of tobacco tasting flavour. And I think you can really tell that it has got some sort of extract from a proper sort of tobacco leaf in it. And if I was ever going to pick up a tobacco leaf and start chewing it, this is the sort of flavour that I would imagine it would taste like. I can't say it's overly sort of cigar-like, bearing in mind it's been many years since I've actually had a cigar and I've only ever had about maybe 3 or 4 my whole lifetime. I can maybe sort of see where they're coming from if it was a lot stronger, but it's not an overly strong flavour. But it's definitely not weak either. The strength-wise is sort of perfect for me, but I think if it was a cigar flavour, it needs to be a bit of a increase in the actual strength. But flavour-wise though, it's an exceptionally nice flavour, and I've been quite happy to sort of use this as my all-day vape. And really, the only way I can sort of describe it is like the flavour that you'd get from chewing on like a tobacco leaf, really, which is probably not the greatest description, but there you go. Moving on to the Cuban Twist, which again is a number of nice flavour, but it's slightly odd. I'll explain in a second. So this is the Cuban Twist. Now, I've not got a clue what flavours are in this. I know it's got like your pure tobacco leaf again, and flavour-wise, you can definitely tell, well, as far as I'm aware anyway, for me personally, based on my own sort of taste sensations, it tastes as though it's got the same flavouring as the natural Cuban cigar, mixed in with what I can only describe as like a sort of bubblegum sort of flavour. Now, if I said to you, oh, do you want to try a tobacco and bubblegum flavour, like mixed together, it would sound sort of pretty awful, but for whatever reason, it does actually really work well, and it's a really nice flavour. But I'm pretty certain it's not meant to be bubblegum. I'd imagine it's got some sort of fruit or a few different sort of fruits in there, but that is definitely, you know, my first impressions when I sort of tried it, well, I've had it for a few days now, and it was my first impressions when I tried it. I thought, oh, is this bubble gum? And then like, I thought, well, I can still taste that sort of Cuban cigar flavour in there as well. And like I said, I've been vaping it quite a bit, but I still can't think of any other flavour to describe it apart from like a sort of a bubble gum and tobacco, really. And again, like the actual strength of the flavour for me is spot on, because I find that if you have a flavour that's sort of too strong, you know, after a while you get a little bit sort of sick of it. But if it's too weak, then you get bored of it very quickly. Whereas this and the other one, the natural Cuban cigar, the actual strength of the flavour, for me personally anyway, is absolutely spot on. So again, it's a nice, really nice flavour, this one, the Cuban Twist. But you know, it's slightly strange as well. I'll go on to the last one then, which is the Temptation and Hedges, which again has the, I think this one has it as well, doesn't it? Yeah, the certified pure tobacco leaf. So I imagine that's their sort of like base flavour for all of these. Okay, so this is the Temptation and Hedges. Now this is sort of similar to the first one, the natural Cuban cigar, but it seems to be quite a bit sweeter to me, and the actual strength of the flavour isn't quite as strong. So it's still a nice flavour, but I do much prefer the natural Cuban cigar. Is just a big winner for me. The Cuban Twist is really nice as well, but not quite as nice as the natural Cuban cigar. Whereas this one, it's you can tell it's a different flavour to the natural Cuban cigar. It's definitely got a lot sweeter edge to it. But I'm finding the actual flavour, or the strength of the flavour, is a little bit weaker, and it just doesn't seem to sort of you know, please me as much as the other two did. Let's put it that way. But again, like, you know, you can still definitely taste the like the actual sort of tobacco leaf flavour in there. But it's definitely got a far sort of stronger, sweeter, should I say. Definitely got a lot of sweeter edge to it. Now overall, all three flavours are nice, but the natural Cuban cigar and the Cuban Twist are definitely my favourite. With the natural Cuban cigar, that would definitely be something that I'd probably go back and buy another bottle of. So it's always a good sign. Anyway, if you fancy trying some of these out for yourself, go along to www.vaporgeneration.co.uk. Thank you very much for watching, and also come along and visit my website at www.e-cig-reviews.com. That's e-cig-reviews.com. Cheers guys, happy vaping, see you later.